everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently finished book 5 of Jim Butcher's series. This one is called Blood Rites. And Thomas is reintroduced to this one, and we learn more about Harry's mother and this creature called Wraith, who's a necromancer and a sexual deviant, and what he does to Karrin Murphy. Ugh. Poor Karrin. Well, I'm not going to say what happens because it would be a spoiler alert, but Thomas is an interesting character because he comes from the white court of vampires, and that means he can only feed on energy, especially when copulating. And the thing about this that's revealed in this particular book is white court vampires' only weakness is that they cannot feed on somebody who's in love. So a person who is in love is exempt from getting harassed by a vampire who is part of the white court. And of course the black court vampires are the ones that Bram Stoker gave instructions on how to kill them. And then you get a distinction between Dracula and the son of Dracul. And the son of Dracul was a rebellious teenager, and he joined the Black Heart to spite his father. It's very interesting, and of course this particular book introduces us to another pet in Harry's life. He still has Mr., of course, and Mr. gets possessed by Bob a few times, which is amusing, and he says, "Be careful with my cat," and I thought, yeah, I hope he is, because if he's not, there's going to be heck to pay. It's interesting when he saves this puppy, reluctantly so, but he becomes the friend of this little guy, and he names him Mouse because he's gray and he's small, and he doesn't know what breed this dog is. But interestingly, in the next book, Mouse grows up to be quite the brute and colossal in size, which is really quite ironic and paradoxical and very funny. We have another character involved. The sorceress Mavra is also involved in this one. She's involved in the next one too, but I haven't really read that far enough to know what occurs in that particular part of the series. But we learn that Harry's hatred for Wraith is actually well-founded because he was responsible for killing his mother. It was not long after his mother died. As soon as he was born, she was just cut off from the land of the living, sadly enough. And it seems that Harry really had a really rough go of it when he was a young child. He did have a good relationship with his father, one that was genuine, but he didn't really have a chance to get to know his mother well. He has more of his mother in him than his father, even though both of them were good people. And Wraith is this twisted, sick, arrogant deviant who uses desire and lust as a predatory force, and he's just a very demented character. And he falls under the same category as Kavros does. Well, Kavros is actually a different character. We meet him earlier in the series, and Kavros was a spirit he was a dark spirit, and he was possessed, I think. I can't remember. It's interesting, but they talk about possession and how zombies themselves are controlled by necromancers, and they play a beat on the drum to mimic a zombie's heart, and in order for the zombies to respond to this, they're under hypnosis, basically. They're under the control of the necromancer. How you outrun a zombie horde basically, in so speaking, in Butcher's novel, this particular one, Blood Rites, is you have to outsmart the necromancer, or outrun the zombies. Either or, I would probably say kill the necromancer, and then all the zombie horde is just disbanded, and no real need to worry about it. I've enjoyed the series thus far. The only one that I don't have is Ghost Story, which I'm probably going to have to get that somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to get it. But this one, I finished it in about a day. 2 days, actually, to be honest, because I've been working, but it was only 435 pages, and to me it's just a walk in the park. But what I really like about this is the whole tone that Jim uses throughout is a whole kind of iconoclastic, rebellious tone that Harry has, and how the Merlin and the Council, they basically tolerate him, but I think that they have another agenda, and I'm not sure what that agenda is. We're given glimpses of that could be, but it's still kind of shrouded in mystery, which makes me want to keep reading. And the books are very humorous. They're very, very funny. They're very comedic. And there's also a lot of suspense and horror and paranormal. References made, a lot of cultural references that are made that are very funny if you catch on to them. He's very clever. All the nuances that he throws in are just amusing to me, and he seems to be very inventive and creative, and he presents things in a way that you wouldn't necessarily think of when you're reading a book such as this, because this combines a multitude of genres, and I absolutely adore it. Other than that, I wanted to talk about what I'm writing. I am currently writing a challenge story that my friend Richard Rain wanted me to write. It's basically called Multi-Genre Across the Universes. It's a compilation mashup of Star Wars, Indiana Jones, LOTR, Rocky, and Batman. And I'm just about done with it, but not quite. I'm getting there. I'm going to save that for now. The other one I'm working on is a Lost Girl, Harry Dresden mashup. Again, I've thrown him in the world of Lost Girl, but I thought, yeah, this will be fun, because I can see him mingling around with the characters. I actually got the inspiration from the episode where they're caught in that time loop, and I loved that episode. It was called Groundhog Day for a good reason. Krampus is up to some trickery on Yule, so it all makes sense, and it's probably one of my favorite episodes of the entire season, other than the finale, which made me cry because they killed off one of my favorite characters, and actually they killed off a couple of my favorite characters, and I wasn't very happy about it, but oh well. According to the prophecy, they weren't important enough for the raising of the Dark One, but Uniments. But I'm excited. I probably won't be able to see the next season because we've had to discontinue Sci-Fi, and I won't be able to see Dominion, which I really want to see. Being Human won't be renewed. They already had a finale for that. This is the final finale. But I actually prefer the BBC version better because I think it's just superior, and it's more well written and just funnier, and just the snarky attitude that the Brits have and their rapier wit I really quite savor, and I relish all of that. Excuse me. I'm still working on my my Willow parody, my Willow Sing with Words parody, which I haven't quite finished yet. Working on a multitude of other things. I finished writing Star Child, which was based on a compilation of dreams I had. I think are preparing me for the future. I just hope they are. I hope I'm not delusional. Other than that, I can't really say too terribly much, other than I don't know if I'll be seeing X-Men Days of Future Past in the coming future. Sounds kind of weird the way I just phrased that. But even if I don't, maybe I'll get to see it with my friend, because I know that my dad's not really, he doesn't really want to see it. So we'll probably be doing something else on that day. That's basically all I wanted to say, other than I'm catching up with all the TV I've missed. There's a episode of Bob's Burgers I haven't seen, and The Simpsons, and I'm gonna watch an episode of Hannibal. I haven't watched Hannibal yet, but Triller Terrain actually told me about it, and it sounded really good. And I like the original. I love Sir Anthony Hopkins. He's probably one of the best actors known to history. He's one of my many favorite actors. I noticed that a lot of the people I like are mainly actors instead of actresses. Sorry, I had a long day. So until next time, I will be signing off. Live long and prosper. Ciao tutti.